Kochnik here from lovely Australia, as in Sydney, Australia. A little bit cold, but and it is almost 4 a.m, so most people in Australia are asleep. For some reason, India is all awake. Anyway, I've been joined by the 3 people from the pre-show, of course, Naresh, Sarashis, and Vijay, and of course myself.
Hey.
How are you all?
Hello, Norman. Good, Norman. Good.
Did
2
you have a
games
good
we
sleep,
witnessed. Yeah.
Did you have a good sleep, everybody? No.
How about your pasta? How about your pasta?
Pasta was good, very good. In fact, it was very good.
Good.
A bit cold, but it was good because it was waiting for me. It was waiting for me for about an hour. Anyway, no. Now the reality is, guys, we were all bloody wrong. We said, "Oh, Punjab Kings, blah blah blah."
Yeah.
Completely and utterly wrong, weren't we? 120. What happened? It's terrible. And then, of course, you know, it was a game that was completely against what we expected, wasn't it? SRH, both Bairstow and Warner, and then Williamson didn't need anyone else, basically. Okay, SRH played well. They deserved to win, but I still haven't got much. I'm not 100% about them. I mean, Punjab Kings was awful, weren't they? They were quite awful. I mean, no one scored more than 21 runs. It was an awful performance. But they'll be at the bottom of the table and probably deservedly so. But then the next game, I picked CSK. Who didn't pick CSK? I think
I had picked CSK today. Yeah.
Yeah. Suraj, you picked.
No. I picked KKR.
I know. And Vijay picked KKR as well, didn't you?
I picked KKR and I picked Punjab. Both lost.
Both of even myself and Vijay said both of us picked the same team. In fact, Norman, we were having a chat during the match over the WhatsApp call. Okay, sir, he said the score. But I think in the Chennai wicket, the wicket is not up to the mark for a T20 game. Though Punjab really didn't bat well, but but I think it's not up to the wicket is not up to the mark. On a T20 game, when you have scored 120 odd runs and the batting team batting second chase those runs into final overs, it's not a good advertisement for the game of cricket. And on the other hand, it's absolutely contrast in the evening because the first team scored 220 runs, chasing to chase that. KKR lost 5 wickets. Then the counter attack was absolutely brilliant. I kept on saying that this kind of wicket is going to suit the batting of Andre Russell, and that is absolutely that we have witnessed. He's absolutely at his brilliant best because he loves the ball to come onto the bat, and this Mumbai wicket is that. In the other day also, we have seen the game between Punjab and Rajasthan, where Sanju played absolutely a blinder. He was almost got them through, and finally just one shot didn't go out, and that's how the game panned out. But of course, the first game and the second game was absolutely a contrast, and I think the wicket is the main reason for it.
Yes, but despite that, KKR are languishing towards the bottom of the table at this early stage. But it's a bit scratch your head as to where KKR are going to finish. They finish well, but there's no point in finishing well if your opening 5 batters don't bat well. It's kind of a contradiction in terms, isn't it, really? And yet again, Eoin Morgan has not scored runs.
Yeah.
I would like to add one thing here, and I'm sure Vijay sir will agree with me, so does Naresh, because I would like to talk about one particular player like Nitish Rana. He is someone who's been playing IPL cricket for a long time, and sir, if you just go back to the to the history, he is someone who always started really well for himself in the IPL. When he was playing for Mumbai Indians, he was playing for KKR, he's always started well. But after a few games, he suddenly lost the rhythm. And it's been not the case of this year. It's been a case of quite some time now. He started really well. Then in the middle, he lost his way. And that's the reason his team suffers, because once you have a bright start, team expect a lot from you. But suddenly, when it matters the most, that time if you start failing, the team used to suffer a lot. That's the thing case is happening here, because the other opener, Shubman Gill, who is absolutely a brilliant player, I don't know what happened to him. Somehow he's not been fired in this IPL so far. So that's because when you bat first or you chase, the most important thing for a team is the start. And KKR is not getting the start that they want to, while they're chasing even when they're batting first as well.
Well, that's the problem. If your top three don't fire, it's almost impossible for you to later batsmen to resurrect innings, especially when you got 220 to chase. Great work by Kartik, Russell, and Cummins. But I want to bring your attention quickly to Chahar. Yet again, he's taken a bag of wickets.
Oh, yes.
I mean, we can't forget that he's worth his weight in gold. He consistently seems to be getting 4-wicket hauls. He's done that a few times now. And I'm curious as to who's the man of the match. Who's the man of the match for this game?
It could be, I think it could be du Plessis. I'm not sure on that. Yeah. But if I could just add to what Sorashi said, that, Nitish Rana and Gill, their approach has been similar. Probably they need to relook. Both wanted to attack from the ball, from the first ball. If you see the comparison on how Ruturaj Gaikwad and Faf du Plessis approached their inning. And Ruturaj has that kind of a start. Last year he had a couple of games very poor, and then in the later half of the tournament he started scoring. Rather, he scored a 70 unbeaten against KKR. So he's got a consecutive 50 this time.
Naresh, he scored 3 consecutive 50s in the last 3 games.
Yeah.
And he was out, and he was the one who was first, recovered from COVID. Then he came back. Then he failed those first 2 games. Then in last game he came back well. But I must give credit to here Chennai as well, who is persist with someone like Ruturaj Gaikwad. That is what MS Dhoni is all about. He believes in his player and he backed them.
Faf du Plessis, okay, he scored 95. I don't know. Maybe I'm not a Faf du Plessis fan. I don't know. He doesn't excite me like Andre Russell does. Let's be honest. I mean, but he still scored 4 sixes and he scored 95 runs. But you don't seem to notice his batting. I don't know. Is that a fair point? He gets his runs and you kind of don't notice it. That's my impression.
Yeah, you can call him an accumulator. Even in the last season, there was one inning along with Watson. They chased unbeaten 180 odd. The way he accumulates runs, and the longer he's and this is how one should bat on Indian pitches, especially bat deep. This is something which is coming out of experience, and I think that's his role as a senior in the side, playing for CSK for so long. Bat deep as an opener, and the rest revolve around. I think he showed how that is to be done.
But he's still got 150 strike rate, which is really, I think 150 strike rate is on the mark of a good performance. I think that's very commendable. VJ, your thoughts? Are you crying?
My man of match would be Chahar. Because on a pitch where, the ball is coming on nicely, batsmen are slaughtering the bowlers. And so I'll pick him because he finished the game. Whatever Russell did and whatever Cummins did in the game, it was always Chahar against KKR. So, and it's very rarely that, you give this man of the match honors to bowlers, and you should. If the pitch is favoring the batsman and he takes the first 4 wickets, I think I'll pick Chahar.
If you look at the scorecard, forget the individual scores. When a team is 3 for 220, they're in command. When you're all out for 202, even though you got close, you're not in command. It's as simple as that. Because 202 implies if you're all out for 202, it means you'd be losing wickets relatively steadily and you were never on top. So I think that's indicative of what this game is all about by just looking at the score itself. So Chennai Super Kings are first at the moment. Net run rate, quite incredible.
Yeah.
Considering all. Of course, RCB haven't played. Once they play, they'll go to the top. They'll have
tomorrow they have a game. Yeah.
But that's we've got to take into account. But Chennai Super Kings, I mean, Chris Vernon, who's a part of our show and on my show, and I as well, were pretty damning on CSK, calling them old fuddy-duddies. And I think VJ got upset when I said that, but I wasn't talking about you, VJ. I was talking about CSK. I'm joking. the reality is that CSK, again, Dhoni can't be knocked. He even decided to bat higher in the order today, didn't he? And even though it was a small knock, it's significant the way he plays. I mean, CSK. Do you give CSK a threat, Suresh?
Yeah, Norman, it's a very interesting thing that you mentioned that, of course, we all agree that CSK is a team which is a team which have players who's getting old. But at the same time, you have to give credit to the man, MS Dhoni. Because if you see those two young players, one top of the batting order, Ruturaj Gaikwad, and the other one is Deepak Chahar. In a match where 400 plus runs have been scored, the man has taken first 4 wickets and conceded only 29 runs in his 4 overs. The reason I mentioned those two names just because that's the greatness of MS Dhoni. It's not about him. He is someone who is getting the next generation ready. He knows that maybe this year or maybe after one more season, he will not continue to play for CSK. But he wants that legacy. He wants the culture. He wants that brand of cricket that he and his team have shown the world that they can play. He wants that to continue, and that is what MS Dhoni is all about. He helps you to build up new youngsters. That's what he has done to the Indian team. When this Praveen Kumar, Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, all these Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma, they all flourished under him. And even here at Chennai Super Kings, though most of the cricketers are getting old, but look at those two youngsters. They are the one who is going to be the future, along with Ravindra Jadeja. So that is what this MS Dhoni, the great man, is all about.
And the thing is that Jadeja wasn't used at all. He certainly didn't bat. And in terms of the bowling, did he? I'm just trying to.
Yeah, he bowled his.
He certainly bowled. I know he bowled, but he didn't. Again, he didn't have the limelight today. But that's good because he'll come when he's needed. They seem to have gears, don't they? The players have gears in the CSK. They kind of take turns in shifting gears. It's quite incredible. Even Laguna Nagidi, he bowled pretty well, didn't he? He got 3 wickets. He looked particularly good. That was a mark. They gave Bravo a rest, so to speak, and allowed Nagidi in there. They're going pretty well. Sam Curran, although he was very expensive.
Yeah.
And Tucker, very expensive.
Again, here is another point, Norman, regarding Sam Curran. The guy who went for 30 runs in his 3rd over, MS Dhoni still have got the courage to give him his 4th over. Because that's what encourage a player. Everyone knows when you went for a 30-run over, you are absolutely shattered. And the dressing room is absolutely, when you go back to the dressing room, everyone will after you. But in the same game, when you have been encouraged by your captain to bowl your 4th over, which is going to be probably a deciding over, and you bowl rightly and won you the game, that helped you to get your confidence back in the same game. And that's what MS Dhoni does.
Absolutely. Just for a moment, has CSK played RCB yet? They haven't. They have. I'm trying to recollect that game.
No, they haven't yet. No,
that's going to be an interesting match.
Because CSK is based out of Mumbai yet. RCB has rather just got into Mumbai and playing Rajasthan tomorrow. So probably in the next few days.
Yeah,
I think 25th is the last game in Mumbai, and then they move to another destination.
Then the next 2 venues will be Ahmedabad and Delhi, I guess.
Delhi, yeah.
Delhi and Ahmedabad. And they're playing matches in Kolkata as well, aren't they?
Yes,
Kolkata's
that's the last
game
combination.
The Kolkata game is going to start from I guess from the 9th of May. I think 9th of May. Yeah.
Kolkata and Bangalore will be the next set of
the last 2.
So okay, I shouldn't be saying this so much, but the COVID-19 situation, could they change the grounds? Is there any chance of changing grounds based on certain states having any issues, or is that not going to be a part of this?
See, Norman, currently the most affected state in the country is Maharashtra, where I'm sure Naresh would give you a better idea, because he's in Pune at the moment, and also Delhi, where Vijay sir is. Even I am also in Kolkata. The condition is not great here, but the number of cases, if you are talking about the numbers, I think the Maharashtra has got the highest number. If in this situation, if BCCI able to hold those matches such a nice way, I don't think any other venue would need to change their. I mean, they need to change the venues and any other cities, I guess.
Okay, all right.
Am I right, sir?
Yeah. Because see, it's a challenge. Bio bubble they have maintained until now, and you should treat this bio bubble as a kind of practice for whatever tournaments you're going to host later. Maybe the T20 World Cup, which comes much later. It's an ICC tournament, but still you have to acclimatize yourself with the bio bubble, whether you are in the bio bubble or whether you're organizing the bio bubble.
Right. All right. I just thought I'd bring that up because it's becoming more and more of a talking point. We know that, and it's always perennially asked. I had a lovely session mid game between the two games with a lovely lady called Anisha Tucker, who's beautiful, and Monty Panesar, who's not so beautiful. And we had a very good discussion actually about, unfortunately, COVID-19, and it was really worth watching because we talked heavily about the impacts, and it was quite a special show. Even though it was meant to be about cricket, we talked about COVID. All right, Pat Cummins. What's your take on Pat Cummins? Suresh, what was your take on that?
Brilliant. Number one test bowler in the world. He's obviously he went for a few runs. That is tend to happen in this format. But the mental toughness of the man is not over yet, because he got a bat in his hand, and when he came into bat, he was almost won them the game. Because he was absolutely brilliant. That is the greatness of an all-rounder. You have always got chance to contribute. Though you failed in one department, but still you got one department left, and that is what Pat Cummins did to this game. He got a bat in his hand. When he went into bat, it was a very tough situation, but he really get them close. But unfortunately, didn't get them over the line. But he batted absolutely brilliantly. He was absolutely breathtaking innings.
But and 6 sixes. But Andre Russell, he came back to the man of old as well. He certainly is unpredictably brilliant. Let's be honest.
No, I won't say unpredictable, Norman, because I have told you in the beginning. I mean, in a post show as well, because he's someone whose batting is going to suit this kind of wicket. Because like the likes of Andre Russell and all those Pollards and all, they love the ball coming to the bat, and this wicket provides that. This wicket provides the pace and the ideal bounce for someone like Andre Russell to hit them big and long, and that's what exactly he did.
And what I mean by unpredictable is we expect him to bat exactly like this all the time, and that's a level of expectation which makes it unpredictable, because you can't continue to bat this way all the time, and that's what I'm getting at. Does that make sense?
But at the same time, you have to give credit to the greatness of the man, because he himself created that unpredictability in himself. Until and unless he delivered in the ground, that's the reason we are expecting a lot from him. Whenever he walks into bat, you expect, no matter the required 100 is 14, 15, 17, whatever, you expect him to get those runs. And with that belief, you said this word unpredictable. Am I right, Norman?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
My only point on Norman, my only point on Kolkata was, did they take the right decision of not playing Harbhajan in this game? His experience of playing in Mumbai for Mumbai, his experience of playing for CSK, would that have been a better thing to continue with him and not get another pacer? That's the only thing. Maybe KKR could have restricted CSK to a lower total with his bowling experience. That's the only thing.
Naresh, can I say something, sir?
Sure.
Vijay, sir.
Yes, please. I'm listening.
To come back to
sir. You never call me sir.
No. To come back to Naresh's point, Naresh, the particular reason to have Harbhajan in the team, earlier also saying they're going to use his experience in a wicket like Chennai. What surprised me when they played almost 3 games in Chennai, they hardly use Harbhajan as a bowler, because the first game they used him only 1 over, the next game he used there a couple of overs. Then what's the use of that great man?
He never bowled his entire spell. Yeah, he didn't bowl his entire spell. Yeah.
Then how you expect him? Then how you expect him to bowl those 4 overs? Though he's experienced playing in Mumbai condition and he's one of the legends of our game. But still, I think their mindset is such that no matter the moment they just stepped into Mumbai, they said they will keep Bhaji aside and they will bring someone, a new fresh legs like Kamlesh Nagarkoti and somebody like or Mavi in. That was the thing. That was the game plan, I guess.
It's a good point.
But I think this kind of game plan or this kind of preconceived motion, pre-mindset is not good for the game of cricket. You have to select your team is like horses for courses, like what Chennai did. They need some pace bounce in this track. That's the reason they have rested someone like Dwayne Bravo, and bring Lungi and Giri, who got the pace and the bounce, and he delivered. That was separate MS Dhoni from the others.
So okay, let me summarize. You think Nagiri, Andre Russell are horses? Is that what you're saying? Is it horses for courses?
They're bulls. They're absolutely like a mad bull. Once they come back, once they come into full force, now they will blow. Everyone will come in front of them. Someone with the bat and someone with the ball.
We always use the term box office, don't we? And it's true. Andre Russell is box office.
Yeah.
Gale is box office. Even Dhoni's box office.
Yeah,
you need box office players, even though they may not fire every game.
And you call them normal box office. I used to call them showstopper. In a ramp show, you have the main man, showstopper. I used to call Chris Gayle the showstopper of IPL.
Yeah, I mean, even Maxwell is in that league, isn't he?
But,
well?
but he has to go a long way to catch those great men. Though he's a great player, but his record is not that great, which actually should be.
No, you're right. Maybe this season. Maybe it's this season.
Yeah. Maybe this is the season. Maybe, never know.
Vijay?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it too early to start talking about winners of the competition? Is it still too early? Tell me when it's not too early. You always say, who's going to win the competition?
That's too early. I mean, we all along we thought.
I just wanted you to say that. I just wanted to say that.
I'll tell you. Cricket is not a game of predictions, right? You will have to, as the tournament gets along, the equations will change. The strength of the teams will depend on the form of the team. Some players may run into bad form. You never know. And cricket is always it is hazardous to predict who will win. Like today, I looked like a fool, backing KKR and Punjab. So where was my cricket reading? It went for a toss. So I would not take the risk.
Sir, sorry to stop you, sir, but in a way, it's not that you are a fool, sir, or me, or I'm a fool. But on that day, we can predict. That thing can happen any day. But in a tournament like IPL, which is a marathon tournament, sir, every team has to play 14 games in this format. That's where you are absolutely right. No one can predict, because every team has played 4 games so far. They still have to play 10 games. You never know what's going to happen those 10 games.
No, but what do you do if you? Sorry,
BJ, take my crystal ball. Take my crystal ball. Do you want to take it? All right. You'll find it useful later, because Naresh knows, Vijay. This is the predictor. You mix it up. Things happen here magically. Don't say you can't predict. This is predicting Delhi Capitals. Remember the team. Remember the team. I said at the beginning, Delhi Capitals.
Yes, Norman. But what happens is, I'm also saying Delhi Capitals, right? If you remember in the first show, only because I live in Delhi. But what happens if KKR plays its best match on 30th of May? What do you do? Then KKR wins the championship.
You lose. But KKR are not going to make. Come on.
I'm just saying. It could be Mumbai Indians, it could be RCB or whoever.
RCB,
It
yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
matter. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But one
RCB,
thing what worked well for KKR today is that the way after those 5 wickets they chased to ensure that the net run rate, the margin of loss is not huge. And what last year has happened is, they were so close on the point table. It's been 2 consecutive years KKR has finished number 5 because of net run rate. So that is something that urgency was shown, knowing that yes, it would be either ways. One, let's go give it a try with Russell and Cummins being the best bet, and Dinesh Karthik. I think it was a wonderful knock given by Dinesh Karthik. And then let's see how well we can do it. And I think they did it well. They nearly pulled it off. So the net run rate has not been a huge impact. They have chased. They have also crossed 200. Yes, they don't have the points on the table. So all the teams need to look at that aspect of the experience of last year. The margin of loss needs to be as minimum as possible, because KKR lost the last game to RCB for about 40 runs. If Russell could have done little more of what he did today in that game. So these are the things they'll have to very closely look at.
Vijay, was that vodka you just drank behind? Was it vodka? What was it?
I dare not have vodka on screen.
Oh, okay. All right. Just so it was a big
It's getting
one?
warm. It's getting warm in Delhi, so it's just plain water.
Okay. Don't worry. We believe you. We believe you. Many viewers are not, because they're not sure what's about it. We believe you. I'm joking.
Norman, let me confess one thing. I stopped drinking in 2014.
Okay.
I don't drink now, so that's why I have to make do with water.
Okay. I must. If we're going to make confessions, I've got a chocolate biscuit tin here, and I haven't stopped. I'm still eating. Can you hear?
Yes.
All right. Okay. We digress. So it's just you need to talk because you're going to leave early. So talk.
And of course, it's a wonderful day. But really, when we have this kind of a double header, it's absolutely a fantastic day, because in a country like us, when we are going through a really, second wave of a pandemic, and when everyone has been asked to stay at home, and when you have IPL, so there's nothing better place to sit at, in front of your TV and watch it for the full day. So that's the best thing that IPL can have, because it's have impact to everyone from 8 to 80. It's gonna have an impact on everyone, every Indians. And of course, it's a wonderful to interact with Norman and Naresh. Of course, I know Vijay sir for a long time, because when we were young, I have seen him in covering matches, and we used to, he's been such a senior journalist, and he's been so recognized so well in over in the country. And it's a wonderful platform to talk with you, all of you. And of course, and the game that we have today is absolutely a wonderful game. And of course, our prediction absolutely went for Hewa, as said, but we are happy that we have witnessed two beautiful games, and where Sunrisers registered their first game and they're on the board, and on the other hand, and we have seen some greatness about MS Dhoni and the way he conducts his team and the way he run his team. Absolutely brilliant. And IPL is like in absolutely the heartthrob of the country at the moment. It's not only for the players, for everyone. There's so much involved, and it gives you so much pleasure, so much. Not only the pleasure, so much avenue to everyone to express their view, to earn their livings, to spend their time. You can talk about everything, Norman. Actually, so in fact, my son is 8 years old. He's having his school, online classes tomorrow, but he's still awake and watching those games. Myself, my mom, my dad, my wife, everyone. That's what the IPL does to all of us. It just combined everyone. It just closely unites us, and I'm sure in this unprecedented time, that's what we need to do. We need to get together and fight this situation out. And IPL is giving us that resource, giving us that inspiration, that motivation to do it together. So it's a wonderful thing, and it's a beautiful evening with all of you. I'm sorry that I have to leave before 10 minutes, but I'm sure I will join you guys in very, very, very soon.
So what are you doing in 10 minutes? Are you having a...
No, I need to give my match reports because I used to write columns for the papers as well. So I have to prepare my column and give it to them for the last edition.
You are taking my job.
No, sir. Sir, no chance, sir. It's my pleasure to share the platform with you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. See you, Norman. See you, Naresh.
Thank you, Suresh.
Thank you,
All the
Thanks.
best.
Bye.
Nice talking
We'll
to you.
We'll meet soon, Suresh.
Yeah, sir. Tomorrow morning we'll chat, sir. Bye, sir.
Yes,
yeah.
we
Thank
will,
you, sir. See you. Bye, sir. Thank you.
That's very nice.
He is a wonderful lad. I mean, he should have played for India, Norman.
Really?
It's just, he should have.
He looks a bit like Mohammad Siraj. It gives me that feeling of that same vibrancy as Mohammad Siraj.
Yes.
But I have to ask the question, why aren't you calling me tomorrow morning? I don't get any phone calls from anyone. I'm joking. No. All right. So I've just, with SRH, it's intriguing. They were last before this match. Absolutely last. And in that one victory, because of their net run rate, they've actually jumped up to 5th. It's intriguing how that happens. You talked about net run rate before, Naresh. Obviously, SRH have been able to, well, they're still negative, but their run rate's quite okay for such a bad start. So most of the games have been close, or they've had a distinct victory. So you're right. You're very right. The net run rates are going to play a major factor in this tournament yet again. I think that's very much true. And again, CSK know that, and their run rate is 1.1. They're killing it comparatively. It's quite impressive. It is too early to make a judgment, but I can't help but think that the top 4 we're seeing now will stay the top 4. I think that
No, it's too early. It's too early. Yeah, it's too early to say.
It's not even half stage.
Yeah.
I want to predict. You guys are stopping me. It's nasty. Okay. All right.
Predict.
Predict. I still have a flavour for this being the top 4, or at least one of these 4 teams will be the winner of the tournament. That's my feeling, and it wouldn't surprise me now to say CSK if they keep playing like this.
Yeah.
It's quite. And if it is MS Dhoni's last year, they're saying it's not. They're saying he's not. But I wonder if MS Dhoni's team win this year, it could be a great crescendo for Dhoni, couldn't it? He may change his mind if they win the tournament.
He will decide. It's up to him when he wants to stop playing. So there's no point. Yeah, Dhoni, you can't say you're not playing. Dhoni will just say, I'm not playing. So that's the difference.
No. But I mean, in terms of the way that a champion man, likes to finish in any format, finishing on a note where CSK win with the team that he's got around him, like Suresh Raina and the people that he's played with for a long time, it may be a fitting time in his own mind, because I'm sure he'll be coaching this team or whatever in that role the next season anyway. He's not going anywhere, for sure.
But Norman, the great man that Dhoni is, look at the way he went out of international cricket. Test match overnight, he decided he's not going to play the game next day and wanted hand it over to Virat Kohli, and then put his retirement on Instagram. So I mean, I would have loved to see such a man walk from the ground, from the field, his final walk where everybody is waiting for and wanting to applaud him, which did not happen. I mean, which was so beautifully organized for Steve Waugh so many years ago. Yeah. People knew when was he going to walk away from cricket for the last time. So that is something he definitely, he won't be able to get it again in his life.
But he's such a humble man, he would have accepted that. He kind of...
But Norman, I'm sorry, what has this got to do with humility? I mean, he has been humble right through. There's no doubt about that. Look at Lakshman, look at Kumble, look at Sehwag. They've all been humble. Harbhajan, Sachin himself.
But what I mean is he didn't say anything about it. He didn't make a big deal about the way that he went out, because that's what I'm probably more saying. That
because he chose to go like that. He made the choice himself. If you had told him you're not playing tomorrow, then it would have been different.
Yeah, true. Let's hope the CSK, for his sake, do well this season and have him go on a high potentially.
Yeah.
All right. What about there was a number of the bowlers in the actual, like, I'll go through the bowlers that we're seeing here regarding the first innings from KKR. I felt a bit confused with their bowling today, didn't you? The way they bowled, I mean, there was something lacking. They only took 3 wickets. CSK seemed to cruise quite easily. There was no one really putting their foot down. Now, I mean, if Pat Cummins didn't bowl well at all today.
Yeah, he gave away 50, scored 50. So
all the seamers, I think all the pace bowlers from both the sides struggled. Let's be open about that. One thing was good on how Faf du Plessis and Ruturaj played the spinners. I think they played a waiting game to play out Varun Chakravarti and Sunil Narayan, though they were the only ones who got the wickets. The pace bowlers, I think this was really a good wicket for the ball to come up, and the batsmen enjoyed it. So both the sides had the same challenge.
Yeah, I've got some concerns about KKR as well. I'm getting it. Their bowling lineup, I'm not happy with it. Their early batting lineup, I'm not happy with it. They've got some great finishes, we know, but KKR will not go all the way because they lack something in their bowling and their upper order batting. Would you agree?
Yeah, but may I ask a question, Norman, if it's okay with you? I want to know from my young friend, what is wrong with Punjab? I mean, every time I start off thinking that this is a very well balanced team. It has got the right bowlers and the batsmen. Why does it make why does such poor starts and then tries to come back into the tournament? What do you think, Naresh?
Vijay, I completely agree. When the auction was completed, they looked such a lovely side. I first thing I reacted was, this side is, they'll go a long way in this season. Last season they made a good comeback. If you see, they played Gale very late. They have corrected that to play him early. But today, if you see, it looked like a very tired 4th day post-tee wicket. That kind of a pitch it was. You can't play horizontal shots on this wicket, and that is what KL Rahul and Mayank Agarwal did, and played it to mid-wicket. Chris Gale, obviously, this wicket was not meant for him. Pooran, a very unfortunate runner. I think he's having a very tough time. It's still on paper a brilliant side. Even if they kept Richardson and Meredith out today, it is a good side. It's just that the score is too low on this. Mumbai Indians felt that 150 odd, they nearly defended 3 times. The RCB chase on the last ball 159. At least that 150 is required on this. Yesterday Mumbai Indians faltered doing that. Today Punjab faltered doing that. But I think they need to even relook at the way they are approaching. Shah Rukh Khan, as you mentioned in the pre-show, he should play up the order because of the conditions. He has more experience in these conditions. He did well. He did well for himself in this, whatever challenge he had. But probably he could have played a little earlier before Pooran, or maybe Pooran would have not been in the side. They need to take those decisions. They have just landed in Chennai, played the first game. They will have 3-4 games, so they need to completely relook at that approach to come back up on the table.
Yes, absolutely.
But Punjab Kings, Meredith and Richardson are going to find it hard to get back into the side, to be honest. Even though they're playing poorly, they really disappointed me. And they're so raw, they're so inexperienced on this ground, or any ground for that matter in India. They've got some real issues. It's a sad. And Rajasthan Royals and Punjab Kings are basically going to have to struggle this series. I'm expecting RCB to smack Rajasthan Royals in the next match, and those two, they're going to find it hard. SRH admirably played well, but they have to now play that way consistently to have any chance of rising up the table. KKR, there's something fundamentally flawed about what's going on there. So it just tells me more and more the top 4 are what they are, with CSK, Mumbai Indians, Delhi Capitals, and RCB. You would argue they deserve to be, at this early stage, front runners. Absolutely. But I can't wait to watch Delhi Capitals play Mumbai Indians again down the track. That'll be another test. can Delhi replicate what they just played recently?
But what we have seen in these 10 days in Chennai, I think all teams would now fear how to approach in Chennai. Even if that 120, like today we saw 120 on any other ground, you would like to chase it in say 12 to 13 to 15 overs. They would not want to take that risk. It went up to the penultimate over today also, or the last over. So that will impact the net run rate a lot. Even if it is a low total, they would not want to take a risk to chase fast.
No. It's going to, so what you're suggesting is teams will be more conservative, do you think, in the way they approach?
Yes. They completely, their instinct has to change playing on this wicket. Play a longer, today Besto played as long as he could. He did well in that. And that is what every team will have to approach now. They're okay with 7 to 8 runs an over in the power play. Then the middle overs, be a little slow is fine, because even the last 5 overs has been tough to play. Mumbai struggled in all the games last 5 overs. They have given 2 fivers to 2 bowlers in consecutive games. I never heard of. So they want a good top order batsman to stay till the end so that he could probably increase the run rate in the last 5 or even the last 3 overs.
I've maintained the same, that there has to be a top 3 batter towards the end of any innings. And I think that may play into favour if SRH are going to get up that batting, up this tally board. That could be the key, because if Besto, Warner and Williamson click in every game they play, that could be significant as well. See, I look at South Africa for a moment, the actual South African team. Someone like Faf du Plessis should be playing for them. They miss this guy. South Africa are sadly lacking. I'm afraid it's financial. So many of their good players are playing in the IPL, they're playing in whatever other league, but they're opting not to play for South Africa, whether it be the ratio of blacks to whites in the team, whether it be the financial side of it. I mean, I'll give you an example very quickly. The South African women's team were paid, I think it was, I'm going to give you an approximation, $3,000 a month, which is quite a healthy amount for a girl in cricket at this stage. $3,000 a month. Let's say that's the currency. Then the South African Cricket Board realised that it paid them $1,000 too much through that season. So the next season, they didn't pay them 2, which is what the original amount was meant to be. They paid them 1. They clawed the money back. And their approach to money is diabolical. All the players rely heavily on playing in all the other leagues. Same with Sri Lanka, same with probably Bangladesh. It's really a sad indictment that we've got someone like Faf du Plessis batting so well when his country needs him. Would you agree?
Yes, I completely agree. But he has his issues, right? If you look at his side, there are selection matters. If you look at South African cricket, it's in turmoil for the fact that they're not happy with the selection. It's not on merit always, which should be the case. So he has his points. It's not for the first time. Now again, if there are doubts if South Africa would be able to participate in T20 World Cup, that will be very sad, because the government is continuing to interfere with the cricket matters. So it's a different topic, but I was just wondering, Normal, do you think the next round of matches in IPL would take a different course, because the venues are different? Delhi, we know it's a small ground. Side boundaries are small, definitely, and Ahmedabad is untested for IPL. I don't know what kind of pitches they should be able to give good batting tracks. So
Ahmedabad would definitely, because we saw in the T20 series against England, it was very close games and high scoring also. So Ahmedabad would definitely be very good games. Delhi, normally this is a time where Delhi wicket actually gets slower, but there has been no domestic cricket, so you can expect the freshness still.
There's hardly, but my worry is the ground ready? We'll have to see when the games happen, because Delhi is notorious.
And don't forget Eden Gardens as well, what that will be like for their games. That'll be another interesting mix. You're right. I think we will see some twists to some of the teams coming to the fore because of the ground conditions. You're right. Certainly Chennai itself has affected most teams quite severely, really affecting their batting lineups.
Chennai has been disappointing. I'm always for 50-50 pitches, but Naresh, today's pitch was,
probably it looked like the one which Mumbai played yesterday, and they've come the next day to play another game. Right from the ball one, at least what RCB got in the afternoon a couple of days back was much easier. They could get 200, and Calcutta chased it a decent score, 160 plus. But today's was, as was mentioned, it didn't look like a T21. For a 6.57, they felt it was a good run rate to continue with.
Yeah.
But it's intriguing. I mean, I look at Australia. I know COVID's the reason for this, but to play so many games so quickly on one ground, you have to be sympathetic for the actual curator. It's virtually impossible to have perfect pitches when you're playing on the ground several days in a row. It must make it very, very hard, surely. Yeah. And I mean, I take my hat off to one or two of the curators have come down with COVID as well. They've had some real issues around the grounds, and that must have thrown a cat amongst the pitches when you've got people with COVID actually involved with the ground preparation. Would have hampered their preparation for sure.
It happened in Wankhede. Yeah, there was a team of groundsmen who were tested positive just before IPL. Yeah, they had to move staff from other, the clubs and all to get things ready in Wankhede. So from that perspective, I think hats off to the tournament is still going on, uninterrupted. And unfortunate, if Vijay sir has heard the news, Dhoni's parents are hospitalized. They have tested. So these things play mentally, and I think they are really doing well. The players are very tough to manage these things.
It's astounding.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I was saying, Norman, the biggest challenge is not how to tackle Pat Cummins. The biggest challenge is how to tackle the bio bubble. Because bio bubble is a menace, and because we haven't gone through it, I've heard it from the players how they are struggling. They are literally battling to stay afloat because it's very difficult to concentrate. And if you don't have how many movies can you watch all the time, or how much can you read? Right, you can't even step out, and there's no fresh air. So it's hats off to these cricketers who are suffering the bio bubble and trying to get on with the tournament. It's people will say, oh, they get paid for it, but I'm saying even if I get paid for it, I will think twice whether I would like to go into that bio bubble to earn such a living.
Well, it's funny I mentioned the name Liam Livingston, of course, is a good example. The last man to go. He went without really getting involved in the IPL at all this season, and it's very frustrating because that man worked very, very hard to get to where he's gotten. He's had a lot of obstacles in his path, and the fact that he decided to go home is a huge decision for him. Absolutely huge decision. So it's very remarkable. Dinesh Karthik, what do you think of him today? He was overshadowed by Russell and Cummins, yes, but he showed some form. Do you think?
Yeah, I mean, he came at a situation where what he did was the best he could do. He and Russell gave those hopes. I think he played a wonderful knock after being 5 down. So
exactly, he turned the mindset. He said, "Right, guys, follow me." I think that's what was the case. I think you could argue Dinesh Karthik's experience came out in that particular moment. He realised what needed to happen. He needed to counter-attack, so to speak, and that was very evident in the way that they played. And then Andre Russell and Pat Cummins chimed in beautifully. Unbelievable amount of sixes, quite frankly. Unbelievable amount of sixes. It was very impressive. That one over where the 30 runs was hit. Did you think that they had a chance of winning at that point? Did you think they were going to come back at that point?
I thought Russell was going to finish it. I mean, he cursed himself for the way he got out, not playing a shot. I mean, somebody who was slugging every ball, he gets out not playing a shot. What an irony. And what robust hitting. I mean, after a long time, we have seen Russell play such shots, and even Cummins. I mean, he was hitting as if he was hitting Naresh and Vijay.
Obviously, he didn't include me because he would have been out early.
You are a good bowler. You are a very, very, very good bowler.
Russell, I think 2018, Russell has done this. I think in Caribbean League, I think 118 and 45, 48 balls. He has chased 200 plus. And I think Dinesh Karthik caught on quickly that Russell was really timing well. When Dinesh Karthik couldn't hit, he was rotating the strike. He was giving more strike to Russell, and that partnership became so crucial. They added 80 in 6 overs after the power play.
Amazing.
sorry, there was very poor cricket by Nagarkoti, if you
Yes.
remember. Instead of giving the strike to Cummins,
Cummins.
he tried to be a Cummins. I mean, very poor cricket. He could have just taken
Stupid.
a single, gone to the other end. In the process,
Yeah.
he not only I mean, he lost a ball. The team lost a wicket. So that's where your cricketing acumen is measured.
Yeah. That's true. That's true.
And one of the best exponents of that is Dan Christian. I tell you, if you know Dan Christian the way that I do, when he talks, albeit he's not the best player in the world, when he talks about a game, people turn their head and listen. And you talk to Virat Kohli post this series about Dan Christian, I bet you he says he's the reason why RCB are playing well. He has this knack of going, we should do this. Let's try this. He is saying those things to Kohli. As I told you, watch the bunker. Watch Kohli's head. Wherever Dan Christian is, Kohli will be looking at him over everybody else. He is every team he plays in, the team wins. That's too uncanny. You have to admit. You have to admit. He was even 12th man. He was even 12th man in the recent match. Yet he had an impact. Took a magnificent catch. It's intriguing, very intriguing.
Shubham Gill's wicket. Yeah.
I would argue Dan Christian could well become a very good coach because he seems to know how to find a way to win. And that's a skill you can't learn. No one can teach you that. I'm convinced that you're born to win and you learn how to win. You can't. You basically know how to win. Dhoni's one that knows how to win, knows the theatre. Probably the most incredible exponent was Arjuna Ranatunga. The way he won the 96 World Cup was magic. He was single-handedly the reason. I mean, Arjuna just still got plenty of runs, yes, but Arjuna Ranatunga at the time, very significant to a team. That's where Owen Morgan's disappointing. That's why certain players disappoint me as captains when they can't do that. All right. Last thoughts, guys. We're heading into a finish now. What last thoughts? What do you think, guys? Where are we at? We've got the next game we've got coming up. Who's playing next? Okay.
I think tomorrow is Bangalore RCB versus Rajasthan. Yeah.
Are we going to say Rajasthan's going to be thrashed? Are we dare going to say that? Vijay, are you dare going to say that after what happened today?
No, I'm going to back the underdog. So I feel Rajasthan can pull it off because they will have greater motivation to win. RCB is a strong team. I mean they're doing well. So Rajasthan, there's far more motivation for them to raise up their game and do something.
Okay, Naresh, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, yes, they continue to play in Wankhede. RCB has just landed into Mumbai. Morris and Miller again would be critical and want to see Sanju Samson get runs again. Otherwise, it's becoming a trend of he being inconsistent after a good start. So, as a captain, want to see him get a big score again. Yeah.
Correct. Absolutely. Well said. Sanju Samson point is damn good, Norman. Everyone is talking about Samson. He starts off in such a spectacular fashion and then fails in a spectacular fashion. So it's not good for his image.
But so Naresh, you're saying you're going to go for RR, are you? You're going to Rajasthan?
Yes.
Rajasthan, yeah.
Well, hang on. I'll get my crystal ball out. I'm going to finish with this.
That will really open up the entire league and not have one team take a complete lead against the 7, so you need to open it up.
RCB.
Yeah.
It says RCB. All right, guys. Thank you. What are you a mobile phone? No, that's not a predictor.
It's my crystal ball.
Okay. All right, guys. It was a wonderful session yet again. You've been fantastic to have on.
Yes.
It's been a great talk. So we'll see each other very soon again, and we'll enjoy this as we always do. So this is Norman Koshnik, taken by the likes of Vijay and Naresh online.
Thanks, Norman, for having me.
Thank
you, Vijay, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Naresh and Norman.
See you again, guys. See you again.